The Dream 3 podcast, back in your life, episode number 16 with me, Showtime Sports Cards, and the man himself, Doughboy Sports Cards. Neil, we had a good show last week. We had Dujanay Bland on.
Yes.
Now we're back. We're going to keep this podcast primarily sports cards because there's a lot of sports card action going on in the world today. So we'll kind of jump into that. First off, I did get a nice little mail day today for those who are watching. I got a nice flawless Randall Cunningham from 2020 game use patch auto. The white patch is a little bit dirty. On card auto out of 15. And I got this super cheap, so I had to pick it up. 2015 Panini National Treasures Mark Jackson Night Moves jersey auto, game worn, PSA 9.
I think basketball stuff's going to really start to pick up that game use stuff. Even though basketball's so much higher, like the greats of the games are definitely going to.
Which, that's a good point to start out with. Like, if you look at card prices, basketball is so extremely higher than football or any other sport for that matter.
For sure.
Basketball definitely carries the big time number. Oh no, here we go. Anthony Laparo already in here. LeBron.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'm shout out to Laparo, man.
Hey Laparo, you gonna sell me some LeBrons yet, or are you still gonna sit in your little Charizard palace?
Anthony Laparo, good dude. Remember, check out Top Notch Sports Breaks. Do that. But yeah, basketball is so much higher than NFL. It's an international game. I just feel that, with football, there's too many players to pick from. Obviously, the hobby itself has narrowed itself down. Quarterbacks are kind of what you're hunting for. And then everything after that, it's kind of like you're not going to get the big time money out of it. You're going to get the Brady's, the Mahomes, the stuff like that. But it's not like basketball where you got 5 guys, 6 guys on the court and 9 guys overall in teams. So, very, very slim pickings there. But looking at this past couple weeks, we've saw some crazy card prices from Golden Auctions, from a couple other different places, some major sales. If you're pulling some of that stuff up, you want to talk about like maybe Shine's cards.
I might just go to Golden Auctions. PWC. So Golden Auctions ended on Saturday and Sunday, and the PWCC also ended this past weekend too, which is their premier auction, which is their first premier auction they've ran since they separated from eBay. So those two, I mean, there were some just massive cards on there. Like there was a 101 LeBron patch auto that went for like $500,000, but that's super cheap for.
And it was the Cavaliers patch.
I'm surprised Laparo didn't buy that one.
And it was a logo man, but it was a tiny logo man, almost like a laundry tag. It wasn't the jersey logo, but it was a 101. I saw it. It was $500,000 sold. For those who are kind of newer to the sports card game, can you kind of explain what PWCC is or what Golden Auctions is? Because people really know I can get my cards off of Facebook or eBay or Twitter or Instagram, but kind of don't know where the big time stuff is.
So I would say about 2 years ago, realistically 2 years ago, what was that, 2019? Pretty much anything and everything you could ever find was like through eBay or through like Instagram and Facebook, and that was pretty much My Slaps wasn't even around 2 years ago, but that was pretty much like the end all be all for cards. Like you didn't really have an option outside of those 3 platforms. And then Golden Auctions, Ken Golden founded Golden Auctions, which really took off as being like the premier auction house for high-end cards. PWCC's been around on eBay. That was where they kind of grew their business, and they've been doing that for years. But they separated themselves and created kind of their own vault, their own warehouse, their own everything, their own auction house essentially. And those two auction houses, Golden and PWCC, are probably, well, and Heritage Auctions are probably the three big auction houses for high end sports cards. So all these records that you see, all the stuff that gets posted on ESPN, all that stuff pretty much goes through Golden, PWCC, all these other places now, just because they pretty much have a grasp on the high end side of auctions.
Yeah, and high end, we're not talking like thousands. We're talking tens, hundreds, even
Hundreds and millions.
millions.
Yeah. It's the stuff that you and I will never be able to afford.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not a chance. Not a chance. I can't trade up to that.
Yeah, so I'm trying to pull up. I was gonna pull up Slab Stocks, but I don't have my Instagram hooked up because it logs me out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I can do it. I can do it for you real quick.
yeah, but the one that just sold on PWCC and on Golden, so there was a contenders, Tom Brady contenders out of 100, 8.5 that sold for 1.44 million. There was on PWCC, there was another 8.5 that sold for 1.55. Upper Deck Exquisite basketball case, so LeBron's rookie year.
So the case itself, so
yeah,
boxes,
the case itself,
so
that sold for 996,000.
And for people who are looking for the reason why that case is so expensive, so if you can explain what Upper Deck Exquisite is, why it's so valuable right now, and has been, and why the prices keep continuing to soar.
So think of it like, I'm sure a lot of the marketplace now is consumers who have only been in the past 2-3 years. So they recognize the name brand of Flawless. So Flawless would probably be the equivalent of what Exquisite was back then in 2003. So 2003, and then I forget when they stopped making it, but 2003 was LeBron's rookie year. That's when Exquisite really kind of took off, and Exquisite holds the game used RPAs or rookie patch autos of LeBron. There's also game used patch autos of Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem, if Kobe, I mean, you name it. The best players in the world, the greatest players of all time, all have pretty much had a patch auto in Exquisite.
So the big thing you said there is game used patch autos, not game worn.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like
some do have
some of the patch autos in there, like the actual considered the true RPA of LeBron is a player worn patch auto, one that he wore in the photo shoot. But
it's still,
there's something to be said about the rookie patch auto, which is a horizontal version, which is game used. I think those should be worth more, just like the same way a Luka Flawless should be worth more than an NT RPA. Those deserve more love.
Agreed. Even Exquisite had some good. I was looking on eBay at some of their football stuff, and they kind of wish
Exquisite did football.
It's great. It was a great product. But just sold. This was 2 days ago. So had a LeBron James Exquisite. This is the jersey number, so it's card number 23 of 95 or 99. It was a BGS 8.5, so graded out an 8.5. Ended for $2.4 million on Golden Auction, which is an all-time high for that card in any grade. So I think the price may have got a bump because it is the jersey number, and
100%.
And some people, that's what they collect. If LeBron's number is 23 and you get the number 23 card out of whatever, the price to that person goes higher. Like Ryan, card collector too. Sometimes he's on that trend, sometimes he's not. But there are a couple other people that I know of that, they search the jersey number cards and you can kind of get a better price for it. But, $2.4 million for a card is pretty up there.
A piece of cardboard covered in plastic.
With an autograph and a patch in it.
Yeah, not even the real jersey. No, but I mean, the eye appeal, the aesthetics to it, they're phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball 1952 Mickey Mantle for 2 million, a little over 2 million, 2 million and some change, 2,029,000. I'm not a big baseball guy, but I do understand like Mickey Mantle is this generation's Babe Ruth. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you think 10, 20 years ago, their version of Babe Ruth or Honus Wagner, that's Mickey Mantle now. So that's this generation's.
You definitely see a lot of there's more love for baseball in vintage cards than there are modern
Oh,
day. Now don't get me wrong, you can get some big time hitters in modern day, the Fernando Tatis Juniors, the Mike Trouts, the Wander Francos. I mean, those are your big time hitters, but if you're talking about the $1 million cards, like you said, it's the Mickey Mantles, it's the
Hank Aaron's,
Hank Aaron's, it's the Hornets Wagners. Speaking of, I'm glad
Ty Cobb.
I have a Hank Aaron, but it's not vintage. But I did have a Mickey. Did it? Yeah, I had a Mickey Mantle 62.
Here,
Something
I
I
got
bought a
some.
long
Here,
time ago.
hold on one second. I got something pretty cool.
Okay, so we'll wait and see what Neil's gonna pull out for us while Neil's away from the computer. Take this time to thank our sponsors that keep us going. Slab Savers, protectyourslabs.com. Use code DREAM3 to get 10% off your order. Graded Card Solutions. Remember, always ship your cards how they should. So go to gradedship.com. Use code DREAM3, get 15% off your order, and sell your cards at prospect.cards. That's www.prospect.cards. Use referral code DREAM3. You'll get a 0% seller's fee for 2 months. After that 2 months, hey, you'll be getting like less than 5%. So do that. It's better than eBay. So, all right, what do you got?
So I got this is from when my grandpa died. He basically gave me all his memorabilia and autographs and stuff. So
Yeah.
this is one that he left for me. I got a Joe DiMaggio signed photo.
Oh, that's dope.
And I got actually I have Ken Golden's original authenticity ticket.
Wow.
Like his authenticity paper.
Yeah.
His certificate. I have that one for this. And then I also have a Ted Williams one.
Oh, that's cool.
Same thing by Ken Golden. Way back when. Like we're talking 20, 30 years ago. Done by the Golden family. So those are pretty cool pieces. I haven't had a chance to hang those up yet, but I'm sure they'll go on the wall somewhere. Just some pictures that I have. No
Very
cool
cool.
cards though.
Very cool. Yeah, baseball is hard. Like, to me, like I would focus on the vintage baseball stuff. I think newer baseball. If you want to play that game and feel like there's a prospect in your head, I know we're getting off into the baseball tangent real quick, but like to me, baseball is too hard to predict. If you're already in the major leagues and you're searching for that card that's going to make you tens of thousands of dollars, well, you would have to buy a prospect card and really invest in these prospect cards and really hang on to them for about 5 to 7 years. When you think of a guy who's not going to get into the majors, like let's take Jason Dominguez for example. Is it Dominguez?
Yeah.
So
his stuff is outrageously high for a guy who's I think he's 19 years old now, and he's only played single A ball.
Yeah, only played single A ball. Like he's not going to make the majors for at least another 3 years.
He's got a chance next year or the year after, but I mean it's coming. But like his stuff was already selling for like pretty close to like Mike Trout territory just for base crap.
Yeah,
and like refractors and all. Like it was like it's absurd. Like people crowned him as like the next Mike Trout.
But if you want to take a low risk, high reward option, you focus on those prospects and try to get them early. You look at the Bowman prospect cards or stuff like that, and you could get those for 25, 30 cents if you really, really, really believe in a guy and hang on to him.
Yeah.
I just don't. To me,
like you got to really know, and you can do the same thing with like football and basketball, like more so than basketball. It's really hard to do with football.
But with football, it's easy because there's no prospect league. It's college than the NFL. It's not, you don't have single A, double A,
No, I
triple
mean
A.
prospecting from the side of like you bet on a guy because he has all the intangibles, so you
Oh
get his cards
yeah,
cheap, and it takes him a
for
few
sure.
years to develop. The Giannis Antetokounmpo example, like there's people there are a few guys probably that people are like the big one people always talk about, and I hear name brought up is two people. Christian Wood, who plays
Mhm.
for the Houston Rockets, and the other one is Patrick Williams, who plays for the Bulls. Um, those two guys are probably the biggest prospects that people love to talk about. That they're huge potential talents. They just haven't quite got to their developmental stage yet,
Mhm.
where they're really going to take off. I don't know. I'm not big on prospecting. It's very difficult and it's a lot of long shot stuff. So I try to keep like if I'm investing or collecting, I try to stick to what I like. And then if I'm investing, then I try to make safer plays. But
Mhm.
that's me. I'm a safe play guy.
So Dugenet jumps in with a question: with baseball in the World Series, do the players in the game's cards jump up in value at this time?
They will now. I think it's kind of like we saw this last year with with football and the Super Bowl. Like the farther you get along, the like it takes just another step and then another jump and then another
Mhm.
jump.
Mhm.
But like your Astros guys, Jordan Alvarez is probably through the roof right now because he's just smacking the ball all over the place. And then the same thing with a few of the Braves guys as well. I think who was the guy that was? I can't
Acuna.
remember who the guy's name was. But anyways, there's I mean a lot of those prospects now are starting to really gain some value and be household names.
So you think about it in this way, like when in terms of card value, you always buy in the off season. That's when you're going to get cards the cheapest. And I know we've
Mm-hmm.
said this in a couple podcasts, but you always look to do your investing like if let's say baseball. As soon as the World Series is over, you start your investing. You need to start
Oh yeah.
picking up the people that you want for next year because that's when the card prices are going to be the lowest. Because once you get into preseason, now the expectations are there. The prices start to get driven up, just like, people get hyped up in the media. People get hyped up on Instagram and Twitter, and their card prices start going through the roof, whether it's a highlight or something, this and that. Once it hits the season, probably the first quarter of the season, depending on what league you're talking about, is probably going to be the 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 gaining of the ground of momentum and prices. And then after that, it's going to kind of level off. Now you're just playing the stock market of game by game. Like if you look at Patrick Mahomes has had a rough couple of weeks, and his card prices are starting to tank, which is
Yeah,
good.
I would. Yeah, I'd expect him to kind of be on a not a steady decline, but just the. I think it'll get a little dip here,
It'll get,
just because they're playing bad.
yeah, and that's kind of the risk you take in the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You're betting on guys and their games of going up and down. I mean, I think my best example that I can think of is that I have experienced is Tyler Hero, and we talked about this with Jared. When I had Tyler Hero PSA 10s, the base cards, I was selling them for $400 a card. Now you can buy them. Well, he had a good game a couple nights ago, but you could buy them at about $75 a card after the finals. And you look at Kobe
Two
White,
weeks
like,
ago, they were probably $25 a card too.
yeah, yeah. And
That's
you
the
look at
crazy part.
but you look at Kobe White, I saw you can get PSA 9s for about $18. You could get PSA 10s for less than 40, 50, and you were selling them last year after the All-Star break at $200 a pop,
Mm-hmm.
250 a pop for PSA 10 base cards. So it's one of those things where, if a player gets hot right away, and it's more in basketball than it is anywhere else, you can ride those prices up. But as soon as the postseason starts happening, if it's somebody you really don't believe in long term, you got to get rid of it right before the season or right before the preseason starts. Because if they're not in there, they're not getting looks, they're not getting highlights, and there's nobody that's really gonna feel on their card prices. So it's one of those where you get it and flip it. That's where the flippers come in instead of, if you have a LeBron card, you can kind of hang on to it for
Yeah,
long-term
yeah.
value
If you have people who are going to be championship favorites throughout the course of the season, you can hold on to your Josh Allens, your Patrick Mahomes, your Tom Brady's, your LeBrons, your KD's, your Curry's, because they're going to be there when the playoffs come around. Now, I mean, things may get a little rough during the season, but when they start winning games in the playoffs and they make it to that divisional round, that stuff starts to go, and it goes quick,
Mhm.
quick. So, I mean, you just gotta understand, when the time to sell is, and it's the old cliche saying of like no one ever went broke taking a profit. So I mean, don't get greedy, but at the same time, like when you're happy with your money and you've got more than what you expected, it's time to
Make
sell
it.
off, move on. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Go buy something you like then.
You and me have had this conversation a bunch via text. It's like what you would tell me is like, what's hanging on to it for like 40 more bucks? Like if you got an offer for this much and you're holding out for this much more, I mean, you've already made a profit. So why hang on to it? Take that offer now and then reinvest it in something that you either want or take a step up and go to the next level of something that you want.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that we've learned as we've gone on. It's taking the steps. It's, hey, maybe I made $10 on this card. Maybe I made $4 on this card. Well, I'm still plus, and I'm just taking those stair steps up so I can move up to the next level where I can go from, an immaculate to a flawless to an NT to a exquisite, just building ourselves there.
Yeah. I and on the flip side of the coin, like I'm not speaking from a side of I'm always right and I've always done everything right, because I held on to a 2003 SP Signatures, Authentic Signatures LeBron rookie auto that I ended up getting for like 21,000, like right in February last or January last year, and I got it for a good price. I had a couple people like who were interested at like 40 and 45,000, and I passed on it. And then I kept holding on because I thought, okay, LeBron's going to get back, and they never got back, and I held on too long, and eventually I had to go make some trades out, and I didn't capitalize on all the money, but at the same time, like you sometimes you realize like holding too long can sometimes nip you in the butt. So
Yeah.
it's hard to time. Excuse me.
And
It's hard to time that market, but
like Jared said, Jared said a couple weeks ago, nobody bats 1,000. Like,
oh yeah,
you're gonna take some losses. Like I can name a couple LeBron cards that some couple $100 losses on, and sometimes it's just like, I got to move on, or it's time because I can't hang on to this anymore. But that's the game you play. It's like the stock market. Sometimes you get it at the right price. I can tell you that when I bought that 1999 Charizard PSA 9, I asked you about it, and you're like $900. Go ahead and do it. That's right after I sold that LeBron Silver at the BGS 10. I had
yeah.
4,000
That you got
from
Oh
you.
my god!
I had 4,000. I had 4,000 that I sold it for. I took that
Didn't you
900.
didn't you only buy like one pack out of that box or something, or
I bought the back half packs because I remember it was like a
the
mega.
last six or something?
Yeah, it was like a mega or something, and I bought the last 6.
Yeah, you
And
spent like $300 on it back when Prism boxes were cheap.
we're super cheap. But got that BGS. Guy bought it for 4,000. Turned around, took 900 of it, bought a Charizard PSA 9, a 1999 Charizard PSA 9. Wasn't shadowless, so it wasn't the extremely good one, but still, it was right before the Pokemon boom started taking off.
Mm.
So it took about 2 months, and then the Paul brothers and everybody else started jumping on the Pokemon craze, and that thing skyrocketed. And I ended up selling that Charizard for like $3,800. So
Yeah.
I ended up making a good move there. And so, sometimes timing just works, and then sometimes timing sucks. But then after a while, you just kind of like, you got to kind of stay up with the trends, and you kind of got to be watching, the content that's being put out by the major players, because they kind of drive the market too. Like, let's be honest, this market's pretty swayed by the
If you're a big time influencer, your voice carries a lot of weight.
oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Like the only reason why I think Pokemon kept getting that push was as soon as Logan Paul was cracking $250,000 boxes and trying to buy up, Charizard PSA or BGS 10s and stuff like this, like
Yeah.
that drove Pokemon way past where, I mean, we knew it was going to move up because it was the 25th anniversary, but we didn't think it was going to go, that high and stay on. And then on the backside of it, it just kind of like fell off the earth.
Yeah.
So that is kind of the risk you take, and then making sure that you're on top of the influencers and the trends of the certain times. Like,
I will say this: if you're listening to this and you're thinking, "Oh, well, if what happened to Pokemon is happening, is that what's going to happen to sports cards?" I will say there are still more people in sports cards who have still been in here. Yes, some people have lost money, but there are still a ton of people in sports cards right now, and there are still a ton of record-setting buys. Like the 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 maturation of a healthy market in any place is having new peaks. And if you're having new peaks, not necessarily all the time, but if you're having new peaks, you're showing that there's still some sustainability and it's not just going to fall off the face of the earth like Pokemon did.
yeah,
And what doesn't help Pokemon is, you know, with sports cards, you only produce rookie cards for 1 year. With Pokemon, they can just keep producing Pokemon because it's the same freaking card.
Charizard's not blowing an ACL anytime soon.
Nope. Nope.
So, yeah, and you see other like Magic the Gathering cards are blowing up. Like I saw Post Malone ripping some stuff, a couple days ago on somebody's live feed. So yeah, like the influencer thing taking off. But like you said, we went through right before the nationals, you had all the talk of, oh, the sports card market is dying, it's going downhill, they're going to start overproducing everything. But you see people spending 2, 3, 4, $5 million on a single card. You can't tell me that the sports card market is dead.
Now,
It
if you were at the National, you definitely saw like money may have been not necessarily exchanged all the time, but I mean, the sports card market was healthy. Like people were dealing, people were trading, people were buying, people were selling.
There was
Like it
well
was
over
nuts.
$100 million in cash and cards there.
Yeah, I mean, there. I mean, it was. I don't think it was a record. I think the numbers are out, and I think it was close, very close. But it was the second largest sports card show in the history of sports cards.
Yeah, and I think it's going to continue to keep moving forward at a maybe a slower pace. Um, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to predict the future on these things because I kind of put my blinders on, and now I'm focused on things that I like instead of like following industry trends. Because like I bought, I haven't sent you a picture of it yet. So one thing that kind of started catching my eye because I found this out at the National was kind of like what is it, like ticket cards. So like people have been slabbing tickets for certain games or certain this and that. So I was able to get my hands on this week. I got a Mike Tyson versus Razor Ruddock one ticket with Mike Tyson's autograph on it, PSA 9. So to me, that's cool because this would be my second Mike Tyson auto. I'm a huge boxing fan, so this is more of a PC than a flip thing, but it's a piece of history to me. Like,
Yeah,
I have a bunch of what I really need to do is I have my Super Bowl. When I went to the Super Bowl, I have my ticket still next to me. I need to get that PSA'd. But stuff like that, like, you went to the Nationals and you saw ticket stubs from like 1914 baseball games or 1900 baseball games or 1800 baseball games.
Kobe's last basketball game,
Yeah, Kobe's
LeBron's first basketball game,
like,
Tom
like
Brady's Super
yeah,
Bowl tickets.
like Laparo. Laparo has that Kobe Bryant last game
Yeah,
autograph authenticated card, and they bring money. But to me, that's more of it's more of a cool piece more than a you know currency type
yeah.
trade flip card. So, that might be something I look into in the future. Of one thing that I've been looking at, if I can ever get right is, Ali. If I could find some Ali fight ticket stubs, like I've seen a bunch of closed circuit stuff, like him when he fought Sonny Liston and stuff like that. But an actual ticket stub from going to the fight, to me, it's like I want something like that. So that's kind of my
Hmm.
my long term focus instead of a LeBron James patch auto, which I'll probably never get my hands on.
Never say never.
If I get like a win the auction or win the lotto, then I might be able to buy one.
Yeah, if I win the lottery, I'm buying one of those, and then I'll be done. Then the rest of this card collecting is just gonna be for funsies.
So one of the biggest things that we saw this past weekend was what people in the card industry are calling the Holy Grail. So if you want to follow like one of the biggest high end card collectors in the world, his name is Shine, SHYNE 150. Follow him on Instagram. Check out his stuff. He has the best of the best sports cards. So he has what we call the Holy Grail. This is a game used patch, triple patch. So game used NBA logo man. So the logo mans you see on all the NBA jerseys. It's a logo man of Michael Jordan, of LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. It's a one of one. There's only one card produced. Sent
PSA
it to,
10, right?
sent it to PSA, got a 10. It's the Holy Grail. As soon as I saw it, I texted you, Neil. I said, that's a $10 million card at least. Reason being, it's a pop one. There's only one of them. It's a 10, which is pristine, perfect condition. And it's the three greatest, arguably, basketball players of all time game used patches.
No, I mean you summed it up. There's not much more that you can say about that card. That it's a true grail. I mean, the only thing I would consider, and the card that was at the national, um, the 101 Ultimate Collection logo man.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the one card. The
So,
Ultimate Collection logo man LeBron rookie
mm-hmm.
RPA. That's the only one that I would consider better. But I mean, we're talking about that's the truest one of anything ever. And like they never had that for Tom Brady. They never had it for Michael Jordan. They never had it for Kobe Bryant. Like it's one of the true like first one of one cards for like the greatest player in sports.
So if you think about it, and Aaron at Slapstocks made a good point about this. So in baseball, the Mickey Mantle 52 tops is the all-time card for baseball. So 10 PSA 10. So if you think about the amount of 52 Mantles they produced, there's only 3 PSA 10s in the world. And when those next ones sell, it'll keep topping as the top selling sports card of all time. But when this card goes to sell, it will, I believe, crush whatever that top number is.
Without question.
No doubt about it.
Baseball has a great market, a long market, like a long, I should say, a long career of producing top end cards, highest selling cards, and that's just because of the longevity of the sport. But if if yeah, if basketball, like if those cards in basketball end up coming around, the 101s, the 101 logo man rookies, the like if the 101 Prism Black Luca ever came up, like those cards would easily be the greatest cards.
So I don't
it wouldn't even be close to the Mickey Mantles.
I don't mean to switch topics real quick, but I'm turning around. I'm seeing Tom Brady's talking with Archie or with Peyton and Eli on ESPN. Let's talk about how screwed the guy that gave the football back to Tom Brady got. Like Ken
Yeah, I
Golden
mean
said.
the 600 touchdown pass, and you get the football.
So Ken Golden came right out on Twitter and said, "Hey, that's probably a $500,000 football." And the guy was nice enough to give it back. And then, did you see what the terms of the deal was on the
Yeah, they
slip?
said they give him a game ball and then like a signed jersey or something.
A game ball, a signed helmet, or a jersey and stuff, and $1,000 to the team store.
No, it's a terrible. Here's the problem. There's a reason why that guy is sitting there in the front row seats, and the reason why us card people are watching from our televisions. Because if we, if we would have got that, if we would have got that ball, there would have been some harsh negotiations.
Like, I understand being a Brady fan, a Tampa
Like, at
Bay.
least let me get Brady's personal yacht. Like,
bro, can we go to dinner next Tuesday and
yeah, you can have your ball back, but I want
this?
naming rights on your next kid.
Like, that's a tough spot. Like, I was listening to Pat McAfee today. The NFL is going to get that ball back no matter what. Like, they're going to get it back, but try to negotiate pretty hard. Like, don't just give it away for $1,000 in the team store. Like, I can spend $1,000 in the team store.
Maybe they should just gift the guy, even though he didn't really negotiate hard. Just gift the guy. Say, for being that cool and just like willing to give the ball back, just give him something more. Give him season tickets.
So here's what I would
give him Super Bowl tickets.
This is what I would negotiate. I would say, I will give you the ball back, but I want because I'm sure Brady's going to keep the game jersey, or the Hall of Fame will take the game jersey. But I know that each player is going to be given 2 jerseys before the game. I want the backup jersey. So I want the jersey
the game issue
jersey. I want Brady to sign it, personalize it, and give it to me. Because it's the same. It's not game worn, but it was in the locker room given to him for that moment. So to me,
he didn't wear gloves yesterday, did he?
I don't think so off the top of my head. I don't know for a fact.
Maybe his helmet.
You could ask for the helmet. I would try to get as much, maybe cleats.
I'm sure he could do cleats.
As something. I would want jersey, helmet, or cleats. Maybe a glove, if you could get a glove, to trade for the ball. Because like Brady said on ESPN, he doesn't keep a bunch of stuff. But the Hall of Fame is going to get a jersey. But
Brady's going down to the Smithsonian. Forget the Hall of Fame. He's going to be monumented in the Smithsonian.
Oh, he's going to be like Walt Disney. They're going to put him on ice and probably display him.
He's a national treasure.
I won't go that far, but I don't know. I think that guy just got screwed because he's too nice and didn't really know how to negotiate.
I applaud the guy though for being that nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a super good gesture because if you're, and McAfee said this, if you're a dick on national TV or something, you ain't getting nothing.
Oh yeah,
that poor equipment guy is like, he's got to go ask for the ball. And how about Mike Evans just giving away the ball in the first place? Like, shouldn't you be aware that Brady could break this record and you might want to keep the football?
We know Mike Evans. He's got a little bit of a temper, and he likes to get a little crazy. So,
yeah,
come on. Sure. He was a part of Johnny Football era. Mike Evans got a little tantrum.
Mm-hmm. So I saw I forgot whose Instagram page I was on, but did Collegiate National Treasures football come out?
Yeah, I think not. I think it was not this past Friday, but the previous Friday.
And this is going to be the first of what is it? The newer what's it called? The college kids making some things off of it. Something to do with the Senior Bowl, because the Senior Bowl logo is all over it. I don't know if they're making money off of it now or what.
I'm sure some of those. I'm sure some of the stuff is probably Senior Bowl stuff. Patches.
I bet they're making money off of it. Must be nice. If there's anything else, I mean, Jamar Chase had a freaking good game. His cards have gone up 138% just from this past weekend.
Yeah.
Mahomes is down. Pretty tough. I don't see anything else really moving, but
you know what we should do? Let's check out. Do you have Card Ladder pulled up?
I can, yes.
Let's check out. Do you have our fantasy? Our little fantasy game that we play?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
Do you have all the players?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Who do you think is the biggest growth? Who's had the biggest growth this year? Let's see. I had Chubb, Calvin Ridley, and then Jalen Hurts.
I don't think Hurts hasn't played that well. Chubb's hurt, right? Yeah, Chubb's hurt. And Calvin Ridley's been between sick and injured.
Hurts, Prism, PSA 2.
I still think Robbie's card's screwed.
Oh yeah, Alex kind of.
Tua, Saquon, and OBJ. OBJ's worthless.
Although Tua has not played bad the past couple weeks.
Until Watson gets traded there.
That's true. So we started on September, I think, 7th or 8th?
September 10th.
September 10th. So what was the original value of Jalen Hurts?
PSA 10 was 194.50.
194.50. So September 8th. I have a peak of $350 for Jalen Hurts on September 17th.
Wow.
A peak. And then from there, it's just a steady decline, and now their last sale was $80 on October 24th.
Okay.
$80.
Okay. Doing well.
Who's the next one? Quarterbacks.
From just anybody in there?
Yeah, anybody.
Sam Darnold. PSA 10 was 120.
120 to start?
Yep. And it's not going to be good because he got benched for PJ Walker this past weekend.
So he went up to at a max of $182.
Okay.
And 12 cents.
That's not bad.
And then that was about week 3. And then just a straight decline down to $88.
And the ghosts came out.
Yep. How about Carolina, man? They look trashy.
They look awful. And I'm so we're talking about, making decisions and having to live with them. I spent a good amount of money on that Sam Darnold optic red and yellow that I'm going to have to sell and eat. And I'm sure I'm going to lose 70% on this. So one of those things.
The thing is, you should honestly probably should have sold right after that 3-game win streak before they played Dallas.
I should have. I screwed up. All right. How about Tua? PSA 10. He was
Tua PSA 10. I think this might actually start being up a little bit.
He was 232.50.
To start?
Wow.
Why is that so high?
Because he was expecting to have a really good season with that high-powered offense around him.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that they have done nothing but drop off the face of the earth.
So
they're down to $107.
Then what's my Brady Bowman Chrome?
Brady. I think yours is probably the most steady. Because I remember, I think one sold on Golden for $20K or something this week.
The one I have is 20,201.
Yeah. The highest sale was 21,469. So you're up 5%.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the rest of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
So how about, and I've been seeing these, and I don't know very much into them. These Fleer precious metal cards.
The hockey ones?
I mean, they got football too. Like here's Big Ben.
Oh, the PMGs?
Yeah.
Yeah. PMGs are so remember we talked about a little bit ago about like essential credentials,
Uh huh.
the Fleer EX essential credentials. Those probably fall the same line. They're super super tough grades, but they are like the aesthetics of the card, like the hollow foil, the refractor in them is by far the best in probably all of existence. Just that straight red, like deep red and like greens, blues.
They're super tough to grade, but they are,
Yeah.
like you said, they are awesome to look at.
I think I bought one for this past year, a Nathan McKinnon PMG out of like, I think they're out of 199 or 99, something like that. So I bought one of those just because it
Oh,
was cool.
um, so I did this back in the spring. I totally forgot about it, and I'm sure I'll get it either when I come back from Vegas or from Pomona. But so uh, I bought 2021 hockey, the OPC.
Oh, the
Uh,
OPG?
yeah, I bought a hobby box of it. So,
OPG Platinum?
so yeah, so you're just gonna have to tell me who I'm looking for. I don't really follow.
Kirill Kaprizov
Okay.
for the Minnesota Wild. He was the so Benjamin Ruth, friend of mine, he says, I hear that Russell Gage cards are increasing in value. Might not have to pick one, or might have to pick one up. Russell Gage is trash. The only reason why he's even catching a ball right now is because they shipped away Julio, and that's literally all they have left, other than Kyle Pitts and what's left of Calvin Ridley.
Let's be honest. Atlanta's terrible.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? Atlanta's like one game out of the playoffs.
That tells you how bad that division is. Like you look at the NFC West, like murderers row.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Speaking
For
of
sure.
bad, Carson Wentz,
Yeah.
kill me. Like I'll take Deshaun Watson and all his problems right now than Captain Shovel Pass when he's getting sacked.
I
Like
was
I've never seen somebody who's played more NFL games makes the
so many
stupidest,
dumb mistakes,
not just dumb mistakes, like the dumbest football mistakes of all time.
like regressing in his QB skill level.
Like at least last year with Philip Rivers, I'm like, you know what? At least he can sling the ball. With Carson, it's kind of like, all right, is he going to throw it right to the defender off of his chest, or is he going to just throw it like they did last night against the Niners? Are they just going to jack it deep and hope for a spot foul on a PI?
Yeah.
I,
No, it's true. I
or
tried to tell you Carson Wentz is dude, he ain't the only guy seeing ghosts.
or I'm going to take off and run and dive head first. I can't. He's going to get knocked unconscious, and then Brett Hundley's going to come in and ruin our season. Not that we really have a great season going on anyway,
Oh man. I think
but
the Colts are like one game out of the playoffs right now too.
out of the playoffs or out of
No, out of the playoffs. They're like one game. Like if they win
really?
one game and if one other team loses, they'll be in the
Well,
playoffs.
here's the problem. We got to stop Derrick Henry this weekend. It's not looking great.
No. Although you guys aren't playing bad the past 2 weeks. You guys are playing pretty decent.
Yeah,
You had that game against Baltimore. I mean, you had a chance to win that game.
so I got off the plane. I was flying home from Dallas. I got off the plane and we were up 19. By the time I got home, we were losing.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
20-minute drive. Game had completely flipped. Like I was
yeah.
telling like I was so happy driving, and then I just got progressively worse as I left the airport. And by the time I got to my house, like I was trying to crash the car. Like I couldn't believe what was happening.
Oh yeah. I was talking with Justin Squints, and I think I brought up a good point. I said, if you stack the AFC versus the NFC, I'd probably take the top 5 NFC seeds over every team in the AFC right
They
now.
would destroy the AFC.
Like
Destroy the AFC.
Arizona Cardinals,
Rams.
Tampa Bay, Rams, like Cowboys. I mean, they're what's the other team? Who else is leading the division?
Man, you could even
Packers.
you could Packers in there.
Yeah, those 5 teams, all better than any one of the teams in the AFC.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And yeah, it's not looking good for these this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Caleb, at least you're not as bad as the Lions. That's true. Motor City Dan Campbell. But hey, for being they're the best 0-7 team out there. They were throwing all the trick plays against your
They were trying their best to pull out all the stops.
2 fake punts in the same game. Like,
but well, I think no, because he coaches at Dallas now. The old special teams coordinator for the Rams, who had all the trick plays, he coaches for Dallas now. Like, but I'm sure they were pulling out all the stops because they knew eventually Jared Goff's terribleness is going to.
They were out there playing Madden, and I was all for it.
Yeah,
because when I turned it on, it was 10-0 Lions. I almost thought about texting you, but I was like, you know what? It's too early. If they're up in the fourth quarter, then I'll start calling.
I'm gonna be honest. They went up what? They go up 13-3 on us.
Yeah.
Was not even sweating. I was like, I knew they are going to throw this away without question.
Of course, it's the Lions.
They could have been up. The Lions could have been up 10 going into the fourth quarter, and I still would have picked the Rams without question. It's like they're going to find a way to lose.
Dude, all in all, I think this past weekend, like we've had a lot of good football weekends. This past weekend was a terrible NFL weekend. Like there was one game in the entire weekend that was decided by one score. Like everything else was pretty much a blowout.
It's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Which is funny because it was like wasn't there a record set for the first 6 weeks? Like most overtime games in NFL history.
Yeah, like it was a little rough to watch this weekend. You're going to get that because not every weekend is going to be crazy, but whatever.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the Rams playing Houston isn't going to be much more of a close game.
Oh no, Tyrod Taylor's coming back.
I think Arizona plays a trash team too.
Yeah.
I think they play like the Jets or something.
Matt Nagy's got COVID, so he's out this weekend, which might be the greatest thing to happen for the Bears. I bet they play awesome without him there.
That's right.
Devontae Adams has COVID.
Uh-oh.
Who
the Packers play?
I don't know.
They might lose that one.
Yeah, no. I don't think so.
Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't have Devontae Adams, he's in a world of hurt.
Hey, throw it to my boy, Robert Tonyan, Indiana State University, catching all the touchdowns.
Yeah, you wish.
He scored the first.
Oh. Wait, is it week 8 or are we in week 7? No, we're in week 8.
Snack says Arizona on Thursday. Yep,
Arizona and Green Bay. Never mind. Yeah, Arizona's winning this one.
Big Bob Tonyan, boys. Throw it to him.
Not going to be close.
Throw it to my boy, Big Bob. He's my boy.
Yeah.
I remember him on his recruiting trip. Nice kid. Good kid. Very good kid. Oh, dude, I got to go to Vegas on Wednesday, and I'll be there until next Tuesday.
Okay, I will be gone this whole next week on vacation, and then the following week as well, I will be out as well. So we'll be
no podcast for 2 weeks.
Huh?
No podcast for 2 weeks.
No podcast for 2 weeks.
I mean, I could call D Bland. Me and him can hold it down
if you guys want to. But I'll be back in 3 weeks.
I could call Dylan, but I don't think he'd pick up.
No, he still sends messages on Facebook,
but now he won't talk to us.
Well, sucks for him.
Did you write scammer on his stuff on the pros page?
No, I couldn't find his freaking post.
Darn it. Maybe he blocked you. I don't know. Maybe I can pull Tommy or Craig, or I'll call Call my boys James so we can talk some Georgia football. Let them talk some Georgia football down there.
Yeah, they can show.
Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah. Not a sponsor plug, but working on something. If anybody's a golf fan, if you like golf, if you like golf clothing, go check out nationgolf.com. My guy Adam Hawk. Follow him on Instagram. Check him out. If you like the golden age of golf, hard collar stuff, very classy looking gear, go check it out. They got a nice logo. It's called Smokin' Tom. Looking at the like I was saying, everything's based around the golden age of golf. I think it's a really cool concept. Gonna go meet with them in Pomona. Hopefully, talk to him. I don't know. Maybe we'll have him on the podcast sometime. Talk a little golf.
Sounds good to me.
I think we should.
All right.
I'm getting a little better at golf.
Yeah, you'll have to come play. You'll have to come play over here.
We probably get Robbie's cards. Let's talk about his Tiger.
That's right. He's pretty good. I think he said he's like a 1 or 2 handicap.
We talk about his Tiger Woods 101.
Yeah, he's got not the one from Golden either. He picked up a different one.
Wow.
So he got for a great deal. So it was great. It was a great pickup. He's got a phenomenal Tiger collection.
That's awesome.
We'll definitely have to have him on at like around Masters time. He could talk golf.
We should. We need to do that. So, all right. So thanks again to our sponsors, Slab Savers, protectyourslabs.com. Follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, hit them up, show them some love. They got some great products that you really need to, they got cases, portable cases. They got the big mother that holds BGS cards, PSA cards, top loaders, and one touches. That thing's awesome. They got the 30 slab case for PSA cards that I have. It's awesome. And if you use Dream 3, you get 10% off. Gradedship.com. Remember, use Graded Card Solutions to ship your product. Like when I ship my high dollar stuff, these big things that, if you're spending more than $100 with me, I'm going to make sure that everything is hunky-dory when I ship it, because I do not want the message and I don't want to give that money back. So spend the money to make your shipping that much better. Go to gradedship.com.
You're going to spend the money on supplies anyway. You might as well spend $1 on a box that's perfectly created to keep things safe.
Yeah. And then, selling cards, you see it all the time, whether you're pimping your cards on Twitter, on Instagram, on eBay, just use Prospect Cards. Go to www.prospect.cards. When it tells you a referral code, put code DREAM3. DREAM3. You're going to get a 0% seller fee. That means you're going to get all your money, all of it, because we all want our monies. 0% for 2 months. And then after that 2 months, it's going to be like 2%, 5%, but it's way less than eBay's 12 and 13%.
That's right.
So do that. We don't make any money off any of this stuff. We just do it to help our people. And remember, golf stuff, go check out Nation Golf. I'll tag you in that stuff, Neil. Wearing my Doughboy sports card sweatshirt representing the Fat Boys.
Speaking of Doughboy, I posted this, but I haven't got to share. I don't think I got to share this yet. The Ricky Williams.
Oh, the Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
That card is sick. And then did you see the
Miami logo? The
Fred Taylor one that we were talking about?
Yeah.
Did you see what it sold for?
Yeah, it was like $700 some.
$760.
Yeah, I got the Ricky for like $20 more.
Wow.
And I love Ricky.
Yeah. So once again, thank you everybody for listening. Download us on Spotify, please. Bump those Spotify downloads up, share it. We're live on YouTube always. You can, post and share. Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/the Dream 3 podcast. Give us a like, give us a share, tag your friends, talk about sports. If you want to ask a question, the comments are always wide open. We see them while we're talking. So if you have any other questions, you can always hit us up in the DMs, any of the Facebook profiles, any of the YouTube comments, or just download us on Spotify. So,
hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
Been seeing this post going around. Dak Prescott, MVP. That's all I got to say.
It's not going to be Sam Darnold. I'll tell you that. So
That's right. Dak Prescott.
until next time, I don't have to hear Neil for at least 3 weeks. If I can, well, if I'm home.
Hey, maybe by then the Cowboys will ruin their entire season.
It won't be. I hope so. But until next time, maybe I'll try to gather up some guests who want to come on and talk. But we'll see you in about 3 weeks.
Hey, at the end of October, Squints and Alex and Justin, they'll both be on different schedules, work schedules, so we can have all 4 of us on
at the same time. All right, we'll set it up. We'll have a super podcast. Get it going. So, all right, guys. Until next time, remember, follow our sponsors, like our Facebook pages, like our social. Just support us. We're out here supporting the card game and everybody in it. We're just trying to be real. We're not influencers. We're not pushing no crap. We're just trying to, do good. We say what we want because that's how we feel.
That's right.
So, till next time. Later, y'all.
Peace.